Why is the flag unfurled on the Republic Day and hoisted on the Independence Day? If you don't know the meaning of these words, don't worry, I'll try to use videos or at least pictures during the flagpole. And from the bottom, it is on the Republic Day what happened. And what does it symbolize? Why is the flag unfurled on the Republic Day and hoisted on the Independence Day? I'm sure that you know about this. And these two words caught my attention recently. Hoist, unfurl. What is the difference? So before I begin today's video, let me remind you. This channel focuses on language communication skills, books, and mental health. So being a language trainer and also an author, I've written about mental health and language, and I feel that they coexist. Language cannot be separated from our daily life, and some people are quite foolish to think that studying the English language will help them. So people who are not having the aim, who are clueless to life, cannot comprehend this reality of learning and being in the language journey. I have a clear aim, and also I have some objectives, discipline that I follow while making videos, and it has been happening whenever I post a video through my channel. You know that spoken language is different from written language. Anyway, what's the difference? To hoist, to unfurl. If you don't know the meaning of these words, don't worry, I'll try to use videos or at least pictures during the course of the elaboration. I'll try to give as much information as possible. So we know that the flag gets hoisted on the Independence Day. The Independence Day commemorates the freedom struggle, the phase of hardship, both the physical, mental, and the long period of struggle that the martyrs, the freedom fighters, and the common people went through. So here I'm not going to take history classes, you know everything about it, but Independence Day marks the freedom that we got through these years. It did not happen within a day or within 2 or 3 years. It was a long period, and many people lost their lives, both listed, unlisted. We don't know the names of everyone. So the Honorable Prime Minister hoists the flag on the Independence Day. What is the meaning of that? The flag is tied to the flagpole, and from the bottom, it is raised. It goes up to the top of the flagpole, and that's done by an Honorable Prime Minister. And that actually marks the freedom. It also helps us remember the martyrs, the sacrifices of thousands of people across this period, the struggling period. Okay? And finally, we got our freedom. It is also the end of colonial oppression and colonial thoughts. The president pulls the cord, and at that time, the flag lets go the flowers. So this reminds us to stay committed to our constitution. Because on the Republic Day, what happened? And what does it symbolize? It is the end of this long phase of struggle and hardship, colonial oppression. So on the Republic Day, we hold close to democratic values. It is a culmination of the whole period. So this day reminds us to stay committed to the constitutional values and also to uphold the democratic values of our nation. We know that the national flag is symbolic of pride, and it is displayed in 2 different ways on these special days. When we go through the pages of history, the Independence Day and the Republic Day, we get to see everything that happened during those days. So it's not just 2 different days, but it is the end, the beginning of many things that happened during the entire course of freedom struggle. So one is the entire journey. The other one is the culmination, the completion. That's when we embrace the democratic values and we declare ourselves as a democratic nation, a free nation. Now, what is our responsibility to this? When we look at India today, we still have more space for growth. Every nation, every country has got that. But as a nation, when I say nation, I refer to everyone, each one of us. At times, we spoil all these things. We are very rich with culture, tradition, and values, but we really need to look into several things when we speak with so much pride about these aspects. When we are sound culturally, when we hold the cultural diversities and the languages and the different aspects of the country that pulls us together, we also need to think about things that we can work on. And mindset is one of those aspects. So our freedom fighters, our ancestors taught us everything. They showed us the path to independence, to hold close to our commitment of being a democratic nation. And I think we have to ask a lot of things to ourselves when we pave the way for the future generation. And as a channel, I always pay attention to everything that happens around. So metaphorically, I would like to remind you to open your brains, not to cut it open, to look around everything that's happening, to observe, to contemplate, and to find out the difference between words, to think about the aspects. Fluency will not come just by studying. And some people are quite stupid to think that they just have to study some words, mug up words, some idioms and phrases, and just read something on philosophy or politics or religion or any topic, and they become good with language. So using symbol language also plays a significant role when it comes to fluency. You have to have thoughts, the flow of thoughts, the way you put everything together also marks the beginning of your language journey. So you're free to think, you're free to even give your thoughts. I've already mentioned about the freedom of speech. So let me remind you, freedom of speech is not to tarnish, to defame, or to bring things down for a person or a community or a group. That is what we have to embrace as a nation. Because in our country, we see a lot of people, specifically even the literate people, okay, not just the deprived ones, who do not know what to say and when to say, and who just misuse the freedom of speech. So when we think about freedom, when we hold ourselves closer, when we take one more step closer to the democratic values that we have been taught over the years by our ancestors, it's our responsibility to think, to contemplate about the freedom of speech, whatever we have been doing. And when we learn new languages, we also learn a bit about their culture. And as a nation, I think we are open to such things. Many countries are not open in that way, but we are open to several aspects of that sort, where we tolerate religions, we tolerate systems, we tolerate culture, but at the ground level, what has been happening? And you can write your thoughts in your journals, in your diaries. If you don't have the patience to watch the entire video, or if you don't have the patience to read the channel description when you come across a particular video on any YouTube channel, I think you have to rethink about many things. Don't bother about things that you're not interested in, because you have the freedom to do that. You have the freedom to even post your criticism, but do it wisely. Let me remind you, if you don't have the patience or even the understanding to find out what is necessary, then there's no use speaking about the passion, the interest that you have in learning a new language. At least find out, even if you don't go to the level of researching and also rethinking, at least search and find out. And today it's not very difficult. I don't have to tell you why it's not difficult. When you let out your words, remember that you are also projecting a bit of your personality. Nobody's here to analyze and judge you. But even in real life, why I'm speaking so much about real life, language becomes life. It gains more life when we connect it with real life aspects, activities, occasions, functions, or even the minute actions that we carry on a daily basis. A language gains life, it becomes alive again when we connect it with different aspects of our life, the real life. That's when it becomes authentic and responsible. It's not enough that we just mug up words and try to use it and try to sound very linguistic and professional. Language becomes effective when there are sensible thoughts. So when you post your comments, like most of the people do, try to use it judiciously. I have come across a lot of channels where they keep reminding you about this because YouTube keeps reminding us. It keeps reminding the creators that community guidelines are very important, not only as a creator, but also as a viewer. So I make the most of different YouTube channels, I mean the resourceful YouTube channels, when I look at the channel description and when I watch every video trying to find out what the creator is trying to give to the subscribers and the audience. So whenever I speak about freedom, Independence Day, Republic Day, I think we have to remind ourselves that we have reached the fast way of thinking, fast way of putting things together that really damages the brain and thought process. And that's why people still find it difficult to master a language. Mastering a language is not just qualification, but it's also speaking spontaneously, fluently, even if you don't have good words with you in your realm of thoughts. Spitting words is not going to help. Think for some time and then do it. Otherwise, it's your choice. And then it becomes a choice of the listener to analyze you. I hope you get all the points that I've been trying to convey through this video, and happy learning.